Okay guys, now I'm here with Masabil and Masivan from the Satu Saturasi project. And as the name suggests, Gria Kos Namastika. There's the house part and there's also the boarding house. Later we'll go around with Masabil to see the house, and with Mas Ivan we'll tour the boarding house. Okay, Mas Ivan, you can have some coffee first. Let's go with Masabil first. Okay, Masabil, now we're in front of the house. We're at the facade right now. Maybe before we go inside and look at the interior, let's give the audience an overview first. This is both a house and a boarding house, right? How big is the land area? The whole thing. Okay, the house and the boarding houses. Maybe you can also tell us how wide it is and how far back it goes. Yeah.
So in our project this time, it's called Gria Kos Nawa Namastika. That means Gria means house, right?
Well,
Kos means boarding house, and Nawa Namastika is a combination of the owner's names, so the father and the mother.
so it's a mix of names? Yes, a mix of names. That's unique too.
Then for the width of this land, the front is about 12 meters, okay? And the length to the back is 50 meters.
50, yes.
So the total land area is around 600 square meters or a bit more.
More than 600?
Now for the house itself, the building area is around 380. The function of the building on the first floor is rather limited, so most of the functions are on the second floor for the rooms. That's why on the first floor, the building on the second floor tends to overhang more to the sides.
So if you look at it,
it extends sideways, so it covers the circulation area to this boarding house. So from the front, we separate the access for the owner's house itself and access for the boarding house itself. So without reducing the privacy of the residents, the occupants.
their house. So the homeowner also has their own access and the boarders also have their own access, like that.
So we separate the circulation from the beginning.
Okay, Masabil, I'm also curious about the facade. From the outside, it's really eye-catching, right? For the facade, what's the actual concept? Maybe you can tell us about it.
So for the exterior, actually, if you look from the front, its function is more as a residence. That's what's being highlighted. So here we try to style it so it gives a more homey feel from the front.
So
it doesn't look like a boarding house. So from the front, we really made it look like a home. But the boarding house area in the back will be covered from the front.
well,
For the front part, the slope here is pretty extreme. So if you look at it from the front, it's not symmetrical. Actually, that's following the module inside. And then at the end here, there's a slit opening.
so that's the area
On the corner.
you can see out, but your privacy inside stays protected, right? Well, I'm interested in the visuals, Masabil. For the facade at the top, there are parts that stick out and parts that are set back. I'm curious, what material is that, Mas? Yes.
So we use screen blocks. We use roasters size 10 by 10 by 20. We arrange them randomly. So actually the parts that stick out are just for the terracotta section. So we intentionally randomize it from here because this is the open area. The further you go, the less there is. The building faces east. So that's how we respond to the sunlight coming in from the east. This facade houses the bedrooms. So over there is the master bedroom. Then here is the children's room. The arrangement that was made randomly will actually create various kinds of shadows at this time in the morning, like now.
Very like that. Unfortunately, we can't see the sun shining right now. If we could, it would be really interesting to see at this hour. Definitely.
Now for the lower part here, it's actually a repetition of the second floor. Here there's also a screen block, but the size is 20 by 20, x-20. Some are mixed between concrete and terracotta, and there are alat alatea plants placed in front of them.
As a barrier.
Then the climbing plants are made to grow onto the canopy. So the hope is that they will grow naturally.
It's already blended in now.
Contextually, the surroundings still blend in, so it doesn't give off too much of a luxurious impression.
Really exclusive. And it's also open, right? People can still see inside. Okay.
Do you want to go in?
Can we take a peek inside, Masabil? Let's check out the garden area and the carport too.
For this interior area, we separate it by using different materials. Underside 40 by 40. And this one uses regular concrete, so we separate the materials like that. For the garden, the concept is to make it green like this. It's not a dry garden. Mini elephant grass. Then there are dollar plants on the wall.
Like that.
So it's really natural like that. The side part actually has access, but it's just for maintenance, that's all.
Okay.
So we don't build the structure right up against the side. We leave access for maintenance, for repairs, or for other purposes. So if you want to plant something, you can go through the side.
So you don't have to go through the main access, right?
So the main access remains separate, right?
And then for this,
There's a carport here for one car, and then there's a garage.
well,
To separate the residents from the boarding house, we use a partition wall with ventilation blocks. So with this partition wall with ventilation blocks, actually from the residents you can peek through the gaps to the other side, but from the boarding house you won't be able to see over here.
you can only see from here to there, yeah.
Because it's from the front, right? Then what's the garage door for? We tried using expanded metal material, so still, the air circulation still works that way. And here's the foyer.
This is for
Seating is for sitting while waiting before entering the house, like that. Then the bottom part can also be used to put sandals or shoes.
yes, that's right.
So before what? Before entering the house, we sit down first, take off our sandals and shoes, then we go inside. Yes.
It's also comfortable to wear shoes right here.
Sit here like this while sitting like this, right?
Okay, Masabin, I also see this. This is a roster, right? In the back, there's also a glass block combo. Where does it lead?
Yes, there's a circulation area in the back.
Circulation into the house?
So there's storage for putting equipment. Then there's a glass block. Its function is to bring in light.
Lighting.
It's combined with a ventilation block for airflow.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's really nice. And I see there are also openings there on the sides.
So on the sides here, there's a fixed glass. So its function is for people inside to notice there's something there. There's a guest out front. You don't need to open the door first, right? Right.
And this door has actually been catching my attention, Abil, because it's really wide. How wide is this door?
It's 1.40 meters wide. The height is about 3 meters, right?
1.403 meters. What material is this, sir?
It's made of teak wood.
Teak wood, right?
Teak wood that we arranged horizontally. So for the handle, we use a round pipe like this.
Okay, we've entered the first room. This is the living room, right?
Yes, this serves as the living room. The size is approximately 3.5 by 5.
3.5 by 5.
3.5 by 5, okay?
Yes,
So this is the side, right? There was a side access earlier, right?
that's right.
We made a full opening from end to end, 5 meters. So this is so we can see the side garden area. And when it's opened, it allows for better airflow.
It also helps with air circulation. It's nice too because when it's tested, you can really feel it. It feels spacious, it's comfortable, yeah. And also this
Window, actually, what kind of opening is this? The air circulation depends on it being open first. But for example, at night, all the doors and windows are closed. Well, the airflow still works through the gap up there.
the one up there, right?
So if this is opened, the airflow will be even better.
The airflow will be stronger, right? Okay, and at the front here too. Let me check. Yes, this opens as well.
Especially if it's on the side, usually the air pressure is stronger, right? So for example, the pressure from outside is really high. Then it gets pushed in, so the airflow ends up coming in here even more. For the material, this is painted white, and this one uses brick veneer.
This is brick veneer, right?
Yes, this is brick veneer that's been coated.
It's already been coated.
Then the floor down here uses 60 by 60 granite tiles. And then there's a combination with 20 centimeter pattern tiles.
Nice. I haven't seen pattern tiles like these in a while. Okay,
Well, yeah, something like this is actually one of the owner's collections too. There's an old house window like that, right? There are also some collections from the owner.
that's right. The Indonesian vibe really feels strong when you enter this living room. What's over here? Okay.
After the living room, we enter this transition area where there's storage. This one is built in. It's connected to the garage. This storage is for putting equipment and stuff like that.
This was built with front-facing ventilation, right? Yes.
So from the front, the air can flow in here. And also this, we intentionally made this a transition zone here. It's between the living room and the garage. So when you're bringing stuff in from the garage, we put it here, right? It's easier for the owner that way.
So this is the door to the garage, right?
Yes, this is the door to the garage from earlier. This also uses wood, teak wood.
Teak as well? Yes. So it's the same as the one in the front earlier, right?
Yes, but the size isn't as wide as the one in the front. This is about 90 centimeters. Next, let's continue with this one. This is the wet kitchen area. So this door is also custom made. It's a sliding door. So this is what the wet kitchen looks like. We intentionally placed this zone close to the garage. So when they bring groceries, for example, they can just pull them straight in and put them here.
Can I take a peek inside?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Masabil. Cooking with friends here gives you a real experience. While also looking at the courtyard, right? So it's true. Can this be opened, sir? Yes, it can. It can, right? I'll open it, okay?
Yeah, so actually, it's not too big. How do I open it, sir? Yeah, how?
Like this, right? That way, okay. Wow, that's really nice. So whoever's cooking here can... And the cooking fumes can vent out too, right? Mas Masabil? And the person cooking can also see the view outside like that.
So we try to apply interaction between users like that. So from the kitchen, people can interact with those eating in front here. So you don't have to go around like that.
That's right.
And then, for example, if it's open,
Yeah, you know,
there can be circulation.
so where does this go then?
That was the access to the boarding house earlier.
Access to the boarding house, we'll show you later, guys. So there's also an opening from the kitchen here. Next, what other room is there, Mas Masabil? What is this one?
This is a powder room, so we placed it close to the living room area. For example, if a guest wants to come here,
To the back, right? What other rooms are there next?
then here we have a prayer room.
So
We added a gravel transition here. Is there any meaning behind adding the gravel mass? Well, actually we added the gravel for a reason. This is the ablution area, so usually after ablution it's wet.
wet.
So we put a layer of gravel first as a transition. It's not too wet, just a little damp. For example, if there's a splash, it won't reach the main prayer area.
It gets filtered here first.
Okay. Here we also use a combination of glass blocks and vent blocks. This is for the airflow. Yes. Inside is still cool. Well,
Yes, this is the one from the earlier room code, right?
yes, this is from the earlier room code.
Air
The flow goes from here straight to here.
wow, outside. Okay, so for the prayer room, what size is this, Masabil Abdel?
The size is 3.5 by 4 meters.
3.5 by 4 meters, right?
So 3.5 is the same as in the living room earlier, but
The length,
it's 4 meters. Now this is the Qibla direction, right? It's a bit slanted, so the slant goes that way. So that's why what pattern? On the floor, we also finish it according to the Qibla direction.
so this is to match the Qibla direction, right?
Yeah, so later it just needs to be adjusted to the floor.
What material is this, sir?
This uses vinyl material.
Is this vinyl?
So it's layered with vinyl.
Okay.
The sides can also be fully opened. So for example, when you're praying, it's actually multifunctional. So it can be used for praying or for other activities as well. So for example, if you open this, it can connect to the outside area.
Is this the one you touched before on the side?
Yes, that's right. So in every room, we optimize for air circulation and natural lighting.
And I see here it's also separated by this poster and glass block, right?
So it's a partition, right? So it's not a solid wall.
Okay, now let's take a look at the inner courtyard area, shall we? Yes, please. We only peeked at it from the kitchen earlier. We haven't seen it in person yet.
We designed it with a dry garden concept, so it's low maintenance. This uses a Wali Songo tree.
Is this tree called Wali Songo?
Yes, so the tree we're looking for is one with characteristics suitable for indoors, one that doesn't really, cause damage. This also connects to the earlier outdoor area. The access, to the boarding house.
We haven't seen that one yet. We'll show and discuss it later.
On top, we put a skylight. So even though we're inside the house, it feels like we're outside. So it gives a more relaxed vibe.
Earthy. That's right.
Let's move on to the next room.
Okay, next. What is this used for, sir?
So this is after the garden, right?
Here,
There's the living and dining area. And the kitchen, yeah. So this is the dry kitchen. Then here is the dining area, all around, and the island is here. So this was actually a request from the owner.
So this is the main dining table, right?
Yes, the dining table, actually you can eat here or here. This was really a request from the owner. They wanted to create a dining atmosphere like in, a restaurant. So like at a casual food stall, usually there is the one who serves the food.
It's really unique.
Like the founder, right?
There's a glass cabinet.
So this is the food that's already been served. Just put it here later.
Just take it.
Here, like this, right? So it feels like eating at a food stall, like that. So it really gives us more of that vibe. It feels more down to earth.
It's casual, I mean, really casual.
It's more relaxed. So what's being repeated here? The material?
The material?
From the front. Earlier there was a kunchin tile, right? Now it's applied again in this area. The kitchen and the floor is the same too. And then in the wall material is also a repetition from the front earlier. Brick veneer, then textured paint. For this living area, a different material is used. This uses wood patterned granite arranged in a zigzag pattern. So it separates the living and dining areas.
We could go there, sir. Sure. Here's another door. I'm curious, what's inside this door? So let's check the first door first. What is this, sir?
This functions as a storage room.
So,
Storage room 1, okay, this is close to the kitchen, right? So then there's also a door here. This leads to the boarding house.
here it is.
So this is specifically for the owner. For example, if he wants to go to the boarding house, so he can just go through here, no need to go all the way around from the front, from outside, okay? Here's the boarding house door. Then here are the stairs, and here there's another door. Under these stairs, it's also made of wood, solid teak wood, yeah. This will be the second storage room. There's storage under the stairs.
There's also storage under the stairs. Maybe next we can go to the staircase area, Mas Abel. This staircase also catches my eye because there's something about it. It looks like there's a combination, like there's tile, right? What materials are used here, Mas?
So for the steps, they're using SPC material. Then the staircase itself is concrete.
Concrete.
Then for the part you step on and the vertical part here, they're using Tagal Kunchi tiles. Then underneath here, there's an LED strip.
Yeah, an LED strip.
The effect is that the batik stands out more.
It's on. Not this one yet, the handles.
For the handle, we're using a round iron bar. We just made it simple, not too close together now. For this one staircase, we only made one support.
Now this is interesting too when you go up the stairs. In this area, there's another seating spot, it seems. Yeah, you can sit here again.
Actually, this is a landing, right? But we made the landing wider. So it's not just a circulation area, but it can also be used as a temporary seating spot, right?
Yeah.
Considering this house is meant to be used for the long term, I mean, for example, going from there to here can be really tiring. Just relax for now.
You can relax for now. That's right.
Here are some of owner's collections too. And then next to this, there's a glass louver window that's connected to the outside area. So when this is opened, what happens? There will be lighting and air circulation.
Air. That's right. So it still stays bright, right? Yes, like these stairs, right? Okay, and then this. We can also see that these are brick cladding too, right?
Yes, these are facing bricks where we tried to make the tectonics go in and out. So the ones that stick out. They're arranged randomly and some are flat. So above here, there's a skylight. That way, the lighting effect from above falls here and looks more dramatic.
This is for the lighting effect too, like the front, right?
So when people go up, they automatically hold the railing while looking at what's on the side here. Now let's go to the second floor, guys.
Okay.
So what's the function here? This is the service area of the house. There's a laundry and drying area. Then there's another storage room over there.
Okay. We can also see that a lot of the materials here are repeated as well.
Yes, so it's a repetition from the first floor earlier. There's a combination of ventilation blocks and glass blocks.
That's right. We can see it here. The floor is tiled again.
Yes, so this is on the circulation floor. We use key tile size 20 by 20.
Okay.
What's the motif? We're making the pattern stretch out that way so it directs people. David Anga has already been directed over here.
Okay. Wow. This is the one from the inner court below, right? Yeah, it connects up here, guys. So it's open straight through and there's a skylight too.
Wow. So here its function is, as I mentioned earlier, the area below is a multi-purpose reading and lounge area.
Okay.
This is because the owner has a large book collection, so they can be placed here. Then, as you can see here, the height proportion from the side is quite low, so we intentionally made it not too high because we just adjusted it to normal proportions. Then we pull it up, then it goes down again to the room over there. Well, here we also added some ceiling fans in the reading area to make it cooler.
That's right?
So we don't use AC in this central area.
Okay.
Now, this is the balcony area that I mentioned earlier downstairs. It's connected to the outdoor area, right? So this balcony area is actually multifunctional. It can be used for exercise or for cats, you know.
So this is what we saw from below earlier, right? What area is this actually? Well, this is it.
This is the balcony area. So this is the transition area, so from the front, okay? There's a transition first. I call this the rain buffer space. We intentionally made this splash room so that when it rains, the water doesn't go straight into the building.
Okay.
So later, the water will be drained into the drainage channel.
That's why this stone was chosen too, right, Mas?
So we really put stones here to help filter the water. So at the torn part, at the end here, this is the frame from the roaster. It locks directly underneath. Then the one from below locks up here.
Okay.
And then we can see the view of the crowd at the end by the intersection. Then for the railing details, this uses flat bar. It uses flat bar. And what else? The breeze block screen. If you look at the details up close, this also looks like it doesn't have any columns, but actually it uses steel. Actually, its function is to act as a barrier for the sunlight coming from the east. So when the sunlight comes in, it gets filtered right here.
So it's not too harsh, right? Because this is a bedroom area, isn't it?
Yes, this is the bedroom area.
This area, right? Okay. I think we've explored every part of the house. Yes, we have, Mas Abil, right? Okay then, I'm curious to see the boarding house now. So I'll continue with Mas Ivan, okay? Sure. Thank you, Mas Abil. You're welcome. Okay, earlier we already toured the house. Now we're going to tour the boarding house. Now I'm with Mas Ivan from Saturasi project. Mas, can we take a look around the boarding house area? Sure. But before that, I'm curious about something. So this is the entrance, right? That's the difference from before. The entrance to the house was over there, right guys? But for the boarding house, the entrance is here. To get to the boarding house area, we split off from the main building. It's about 3 meters wide. I'm also curious about something. Earlier when we were walking inside the house, there's one that leads to the side. This one leads to the side like that. Let's take a look as well. So this is the one. This is the one from inside the house in the kitchen area, the service kitchen. Here it is, guys. From the outside, it looks more or less like this. So we place the window. Later, lighting will come from the Sopican area above, right here. This is the kitchen area right here. Okay, then we move further back. After the kitchen, there's the inner garden area. So, the inner garden here is a combination of glass blocks and ventilation blocks. So the hope is that the lighting comes from outside and enters inside, and the airflow also comes from here. That's right. This is the inner garden we talked about earlier, right? Yes. Okay, let's continue. About the materials we use. In the carport or the area leading to the garage, we use grass blocks for the fence material. We use textured wall material. Here, we also insert about 20 centimeters for plants, climbing plants that go upwards. So before we enter the boarding house, there's a guard room here or a reception area. Its function is for the boarding house. This is where they used to write down data because there are also daily tenants here. If I'm right, it's for the boarding house. For the play area, the house and the boarding house, we use wall materials and then ventilation blocks. Well, as explained earlier in the house, so the upper area is for washing and drying, and the back or lower part is connected for washing, while the upper part is for drying. So there's vertical stair access like that. Okay, this can be accessed by the viewers. You can't get inside from the back, right? Where does this go, sir? I kind of forgot. This area is a bedroom. This is a bedroom. You can see the view to the back or downwards. Let me see. This part juts out to the side. Before entering the boarding house area or the parking lot, we made a little half circle shape here. The hope is, since this is a parking area, it feels more spacious and helps avoid corner areas. Because later on, so vehicles don't hit it. okay? Since vehicles come and go, right? If a car comes in, it goes here, okay? What room is this back here? So the room behind the breeze block and the glass block is the area. It's the washing area. So for the access, we separate it. Now let's take a look at the parking area, okay, Ivan? It's quite long, pretty spacious. How many cars do you think can fit here? Yeah, about 4 cars and a few motorcycles here. So we also combine it with vertical plants, vertical Lake 1U, and it's still the same on the wall area next to this column going to the back. We use dollar plants. For the ceiling here, we end with an exposed ceiling. So as you can see here, you can still see the dark duct material that we made from concrete. And above this, there's the bathroom from the boarding house itself. So we just made a slope for the pipe drainage to one point at the back. Okay. Can we take a look at another area? Here, there are 3 types. The standard type. Deluxe and single type. Later, we can take a look at each boarding house room, right, Ivan? Sure. So after we entered from the main entrance area earlier, we'll find the pantry. Okay, this is the pantry area, which serves as a communal space. They use the boarding house and can chat and also use the facilities here. They can socialize with other residents too, right? Now, the materials we use here are almost the same as in the front. That's right, I see a lot of repetition from the front as well. This is the pattern floor tile and the wall tiles too. Then the motif set. There's also an opening in that area, right? For this pantry area, besides being used for socializing, it's also for cooking. And we've inserted a little space or hallway behind the pantry area. It's about 60 centimeters wide. So it's also for maintenance. It's for air circulation and light from above as well. Okay. For the lighting, we also made an opening here. You can see it here. It's open, right? The airflow goes from the bottom up. So it removes the hot air and makes it cooler at the top. I see. Okay. Can we take a peek at the rooms, Masivan? Okay, these 2 rooms, relax. Yeah, yes. So earlier, the one in the opposite area, this is the pantry room. The main house. So if the owner of the boarding house wants to check, he can go through here. That was from under the stairs, correct? Yes, from inside the house. Okay, let's enter the deluxe room area, please. This is more or less what the deluxe room looks like. The layout for this deluxe room is more or less a 1.6 by 2 meter bed, and it comes with facilities like a TV, a mirror, and a cabinet. How big is this room, sir? It's about 3 by 5 meters with a bathroom on the side next to the hallway we saw earlier. There's also a bathroom here, guys. You can see it. We also tried to ensure air circulation by having glass panels that we made to be able to open and close. That's up there, yes. And the glass is a bit lacking. Okay, Masivan, which area should we explore next on the first floor of this boarding house? So after we checked out the pantry or communal area, we can take a look at the staircase area, okay? This staircase area, we make use of the space underneath it, as you can see. So what is this? A locker, right? Yes, that's right. It's a locker. Each room, there are 20 rooms here. We've prepared 1 locker for each of them. And over there, what's that? Now, under the stairs, we also have access to the side to a maintenance area like this. Nice. Now, under these stairs, the material we use, if in the front it was red brick veneer. Now, for this boarding house area, we tried to combine it with white brick veneer arranged randomly. Okay, next. We're going to the standard room. But before we go there, I'm interested in this too. This is nice too, Ivan. I mean, the residents can sit here, right? I mean, they can chat here too. And actually, anyone can use this, right? So the idea is to encourage interaction. So we made the corridor quite wide, which is 2 meters. Then we leave about 40 to 50 centimeters for the base. So there's interaction between the other rooms. Yes. At the end of the course room, before we go in, we also add a garden area or inner garden in the course area. So besides being a highlight, there's also some greenery. So by repeating from front to back, we still have green areas. This continues all the way to the top. You can also see this from the second floor, right? To the inner area, to the inner garden. Next, we enter the next room. This is the standard type room, okay? So for this standard type room, it has a width of 1.4, yes, 1.40 feet. The facilities are almost the same as Firas's room earlier. There's a TV, a cabinet, then a table, a mirror, and of course there's a bathroom. For this standard room, it has an area of 3 by 4, and the facilities include a cabinet, TV, nightstand, mirror, table, and of course a bathroom. It's almost the same. The only difference is the size compared to the previous room. Yes, yes, yes. And this means it's not just for monthly stays, but you can also stay here daily, right? So we can stay monthly, daily, and weekly. Okay, all right, okay. Let's check another room, Masivan, or explore the second floor. We've already covered the first floor. Now, can we go to the second floor? Okay, let's go. Okay, now we're going up to the second floor, Masivan. Is there anything you can highlight about the stairs, Mas? For the stairs themselves, maybe we can highlight the first thing, which is the floor material. We used leftover materials from the building. Earlier, there was 15 by 60 granite. We position it with pieces arranged 15 by 15, either lengthwise or as wide as this stair tread, okay? And we'll use a pipe railing. The one on the right side will follow the shape of the stairs, which goes upward. And the one on the left side is vertical. Okay. I see. Then I see there's a display case. This display case, what's the story behind it? Is it from the owner? The owner really travels a lot, and whenever he sees something unique, he brings it here. That's right. And these are also for sale. These are for sale too, so the boarding house residents or tenants who are interested will usually take a look and then buy them afterwards. Okay, Masivan, we're on the second floor now. What do you want to highlight here on the second floor? Well, on the second floor, it's still the same as before. For the boarding house area and the pantry area. So maybe we'll go over there first. Okay, to the pantry, right? Yes, let's go to the pantry first. Okay, here's the pantry, guys. There was a pantry downstairs, and on the second floor, there's also a pantry. Okay, so the pantry on the second floor is the same, right? We hope that besides being used for cooking, it can also be a communal area. The hope is that the boarding house residents can interact here. Besides being used for cooking, it's also for that purpose. And for the materials we use, they're almost the same, yeah, for the frame and the tiles. The tones are coordinated with the HPL color here. Brown color, then with black and beige glazing white. And let's move on to the front area. Now, up here in the front, we're entering the single bedroom area. Now, before we enter the single bedroom, this corridor area is pretty much the same. There's a display case, then there's a fence and a bench. The bench from earlier is also, of course, used as a storage space for the boarding house residents. And before entering the room, on each floor, there's also a storage room. So for storage in the boarding house area, we also placed a storage room on the second floor. Yes, the second one. The last room is the single room. Okay, we can enter. It's more or less like this. Excuse me. Here it is, the single one. It's nice too, isn't it, sir? Yes. So for this single room, it has a bed size of 1.2 by 2 meters, and we've made it compact. The standard one earlier was 1.40, right? Yes, this one is 1.20, 1.20, or the smallest one. With almost the same facilities, right? There's a nightstand, then a desk, a television, and a cabinet. And with this compact area, we use the storage underneath, okay? So it's like this. This really makes use of the space, yeah. Usually people who rent rooms have a lot of stuff, Masivan. They need a lot of storage space. You can see there are many here with storage below and above, right? And the view here happens to look down onto the area below, yeah. And we have a window next to the table, okay? And for our spot, you can see it below. Earlier, it was on the right side of the first floor. So that was the one from below, right, Masaivan? Yeah. From above, it will look more or less like what's in front of us here. Above the frangipani we saw below earlier, it looks more or less like this with the brick left exposed. And it's arranged in a random pattern. Nice. So this is the brick veneer material, connected from the bottom, yes, from the bottom to the top, and on top we combine it with screen blocks. So air can still flow from the bottom to the top or from the top to the bottom. Really nice. Thank you, Ivan. Okay, we've already been taken for a walk around the boarding house area, and after this we're going to continue talking with Abil. We're going to discuss something more technical. Okay, let's continue chatting with Abil together with Ivan as well from the Saturasi project. So now maybe our friends who have been watching are already curious and want to know more details from Abil and Ivan about the Gria Coast project. Gria Namastika. You just mentioned the name. This is Gria Coast Nawa Namastika, right? Maybe you can tell us first about the duration, like how long the design phase took, how long the construction phase took, then what were the challenges during the process, Mas?
The design phase took about 9 months to 1 year. The construction process was in 2022. It started at the beginning, then it was finished at the beginning of 2023 as well. So it took exactly 1 year. Then the challenge here is, this is a mixed-use building, so it's both a residence and a boarding house. So the challenge is how to keep the circulation from getting too crowded. What I mean is, for example, the boarding house residents shouldn't be able to enter the private areas of the residence because that's related to the owner's privacy. So it's about separating the circulation between the boarding house residents and the people living in the main house, and also how to make use of that rather long piece of land, turning it into a complex building with two functions but still as one unit. So from the outside you can't tell that it's a boarding house. Yeah, it looks like a regular house, so we designed it to be as attractive as possible.
Okay. For the construction challenges here, since this is also one of the first projects we collaborated on with the contractor, maybe during the construction period, because we had to communicate with the people on site, then with the design team, and figure out how to apply everything, especially regarding technical matters like structure, then mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. As mentioned earlier, this building is quite complex, with the previously mentioned residential and boarding functions.
You could say this is one of Saturasi's masterpiece projects in Jogja, because
this
is one of the projects already featured on the Art Daily website. And Gria Coast Namastika has also received several awards for the accommodation itself. I'm also quite happy to hear that news. So this is an experiment for the design, what the owner's character is like in terms of saturation and how it's implemented in the field.
And what the audience is definitely curious about is, how much does it cost?
Including both the house and boarding house, it used to cost around 6 million per square meter. Yeah, maybe you can just estimate it yourself. That's not including the interior, that's just for the architecture.
Mas Sabil and Mas Ivan, if any of our viewers want to see your works or maybe want to ask something, do you have an Instagram or maybe a website that our viewers can access?
Yes, you can. So you can check our Instagram at Saturasi or Saturasi Projects. Then we also have TikTok, Saturasi Projects or Saturasi Projects. We also have a website, so you can check out the portfolio we've worked on through our Instagram. If you're curious, feel free to send us a DM.
Okay, you can chat with us directly there. All right then, thank you very much, Mr. Sabil. Thank you very much, Mr. Ivan. Thank you, Saturasi Projects friends, for inviting me on a house tour and showing me around earlier. Here at Gria Coast Namastika, if any of you have questions or want to ask about anything, feel free to ask directly in the comments section. Later, Architect's admin will help answer them. Okay, thank you once again to everyone who has watched from the beginning. I'm Taufik Effendi, signing off. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share. Remember to subscribe to Architect's YouTube channel. See you in the next episode of Behind the Bricks. Thank you. Bye.